What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be playing with Mono Green Squirrel, or Mono Green Toski as he's called. So this is a deck which I've been having a lot of fun with lately in ranked, and I think it's going to become a very popular deck over the next few days. So what I'm going to be doing is, instead of going through a deck tech and just going through a lot of theory about how to play the deck, what I will actually do is I will go through and play the deck for you guys, so you can see in practice what is going, and I think it will lead to be a lot more interesting for you guys, and a lot more valuable as well, because you can actually see in practice how it's going. Okay, so now before I get into properly playing the deck, I'm just going to ask you guys, please can you subscribe to the channel? It means a massive amount to me, doesn't take a lot of effort, and I feel that if you do subscribe to the channel, it will make it a lot more likely for you guys to hit Mythic and the top ranks. Because I do think, you know, in amongst all of the videos, I do have some good knowledge of how to do it, because I have made Mythic every month since February last year. With that being said, let's get into properly playing this deck. So this deck is a really good matchup against Mono Red, which is one of my it's a reason why I really like it at the moment, because there's a lot of Mono Red going around on the ladder, in amongst your Sultai Orions and your Demir Rogues. Okay, so your Bone Crusher Giant's my Tangled Florahedron. I mean, it's quite rude if I'm being totally honest. The Florahedron, you know, did nothing. And of course he did that so that I wouldn't be able to swing in with my Lovestruck Beast. You know, little does he know that I can just make my Lovestruck Beast make my Stonecool Serpent, a 1-1. That's another nice interaction you can use in this deck, is you can make this Stonecool Serpent a 1-1 in order to basically turn on your Lovestruck Beasts. We could have used the Mutate ability on our... Okay, he swings in there. I'm not going to block. I don't feel it's needed, because all I'm going to do here is I'm going to mutate onto this Jaspera Sentinel, and because this Anax is an enchantment, mutating it will basically just kill it off, which is another really nice interaction there is in the deck. Okay, so here we have 5, 9, 14, we have 15 damage total. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swing in with everything, and he can either be greedy and he can block the Torbrand with the... Okay, he chooses not to be greedy, trade the Torbrand off for the Gembrazer. He could have let the Torbrand live and blocked the Stonecool Serpent, however that would have put him down to 1, as now he has to try and deal 13 damage in 1 turn. Okay, so now I'm predicting that the opponent's head is going to explode as they realise that they cannot win this match. They might choose to fight it out. You know, I think they're going to get a swing through to just, you know, fully cement their sheer power. Or they might just, you know, pass it through and let me kill them. Gonna make this a land, because one of the ways you could have done it is got rid of my Stonecool Serpent if I'd been greedy and not made a land. However, I know better than that at this point. Okay, so in this matchup we've got a few cards which we would like to sideboard in, and I think this is quite a key deck to learn to sideboard against, as it is one of the most common. So I would add 2 copies of Ram through, and then I would also add 3 copies of Elder Gargroth. Elder Gargroth is one of the main cards for this matchup. So now we've added 5 cards in, so we've got to take 5 cards out. Now I think Vivian is a bit slow for Mono Red. The same thing goes for Chariot, and just Scavenging Ooze just isn't very good, and it doesn't line up very well against their entire deck. So that is how we sideboard. We take 3 copies of Scavenging Ooze out, we take a Vivian out, and we take a Chariot out. And we add in 2 Ramfrews and 3 Elder Gargroths. And that should increase the likelihood of us to win the game, as we're playing against Afri with his Sahili, I think is her name. Okay, so he mulligans, we'll keep. We've got 2 copies of Toski, which isn't perfect. We'd kind of prefer it here to only have 1 because of the legendary rule, which, if you guys don't know, basically means that if there's a legendary creature, you cannot have more than 1 copy of them on the battlefield at the same time. Now, what you may not know, which I didn't even find out earlier, until earlier today, was that if you stick a Gem Razor and you mutate a Gem Razor onto Toski, then you can actually have multiple copies. Okay, so Rob of the Rich isn't the best card for us to see here. It's kind of annoying. However, I don't really want to make... It's a very difficult decision here between making Stonecool Serpent a 2-2 this turn or a 3-3 next turn. Now, because he's only got 4 cards in hand, I'm just going to wait till next turn. We can make a 3-3 Stonecool Serpent. Just that way it dodges Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. And also here he's only got 1 red mana, which prevents him from playing Anax. So play out this for free. It's possible he has Faceless Haven, but he's only got 1 Snowland at the moment. 2 Snowland, sorry. Which is a downside to playing the Shatter Skull smashing in the deck. Okay, so he could always tap down the Jaspera to tap down the Rob of the Rich to add a red mana to his mana pool, which is a way for him to play out his cards such as Torbrand and Anax. Okay, so he plays a Crow and War there. Now, what we can just do in response is we can make Stonecool Serpent a 4-4. Now, it will mean that we lose that 4-4. Hopefully he swings in with the Stonecool Serpent here. He tries to bluff make us block it. Now, the worst case scenario here is if he blocks our Stonecool Serpent with his Stonecool Serpent next turn. But yeah, the best draw we could get here is to get a Gem Razor. Make our Stonecool Serpent a 7-7, get back our 3-3. Okay, we won't block here. Instead, ooh. We will make this an 8-8, sticking it over. Getting rid of our Crow War, so we get this back. And then we could swing through. Has to attack this turn because of Crow War's ability. Okay, and now we just have to hope that they don't have another one. I suppose we could have destroyed the Jaspera Sentinel, just in case, so we don't have the mana for it, but, you know. And we've got to remember here that with our Ram Through, we still have 6 damage if we want it with our Ram Through, because this has Trample, so if we do Ram Through targeting, so with Gem Razor attacking the Rob of the Rich or Jaspera Sentinel, 6 of that damage will then pass through to their face, which is a nice interaction, and it would be a nice way to finish them off later on into the game. Okay, be interesting to see what they do here. Because theoretically the only way for them to get out of this situation here is with a copy of the Crow War. Okay, so he swings in with Anax. We won't do anything there. That's not threatening lethal at all. He just simply doesn't have the mana to play Embercleave onto it. Okay, so he's doing that so he can play another copy of Anax, which gives him 4 tokens because both of these abilities trigger, which is nice if he was if he was going to survive the next turn, which of course we know that he's not. So that's a shame, but There you go, he can get another one of the 1/1s, which he likes so much. Yeah, and then we could just swing through for 11 damage. Those tokens can't block. Easy as you like. Okay, so we get up to Diamond Tier 2 now. Great stuff. And yeah, let's get into the next game. We're on the play this game. It's a bit of a weird hand, this. I'm going to mulligan it because it's a bit slow. Our first player is on turn 4. Now I'll keep this and I'll bottom a copy of Jaspera Sentinel. One copy of them is good in the deck, however the more copies you have the worse it gets because you have to consistently tap down more of your creatures. Okay, and the other good thing with the Jaspera Sentinel being in deck, which also helps line ourselves up against the formidable mono red opponents, is that because Jaspera Sentinel is a 1/2, as we've seen there, it's a very good blocker for a Fervent Champion if we're on a play, which just helps mitigate the damage from them. Okay, so he swings in with a Fervent Champion there, seeing his chance. We will of course not block. Light up the stage is no longer in standard, so him dealing combat damage won't deal or have any greater benefits for him. Okay, so we'll play Tangled Florahedron tapped. Now we'll put our Lovestruck Beast in and we can swing through. So next turn we will be able to play our Toski, get through for some damage, hopefully. Okay, he plays Rimrock Knight here, which isn't able to block. Play Toski. Now we can swing through with everything. Because he's only able to block one thing with a Fervent Champion. And then we draw 3 cards off of this. This is why Toski is such a good card, because you kind of set it up, and then the turn that you play Toski, you can just kind of go off. So theoretically here he might play land Torbran. He could go land, swing with both, play Embercleave. He could play Anax, although I feel he would have played Anax last turn if he'd had it. So I think if he plays Anax, okay. No problems there, we'll block like that. And okay, there we go, so we get rid of him. So this mono green deck really is probably the best option that you have to combat mono red on a ladder. So if you've been struggling a lot with mono red, this is definitely a deck to go through, especially using this sideboard, which the sideboard also, because this will probably be my last game of this video, what I could do is, after I've just taken out the cards which are bad in the matchup, I'll just quickly run through the other cards which we've got. And I won't kind of go through as much of what to take in, what to take out, but just what each card in the sideboard is for. Now, the 2 Chainweb Arachnids are for Dimir. Runafowl, these are for all your Yorion decks, so at the moment, what is it, Esper Yorion, Sultai Yorion are quite prevalent decks, especially considering I think the Esper Yorion decks did really well in the MPL this weekend, or the games that have happened so far this weekend. So Runafowl will definitely be a better card in the future because more people start using those decks. Wilt, I was having quite a problem with his deck against Gruul and Naya decks, adventures lists, and Wilt is just a very good card in that matchup. And Tormod's Crypt. Now, one of the decks which I was having a little bit of a problem with, because I just couldn't get the damage in quickly enough against them, was the cycling decks. And Tormod's Crypt will also have upside in the Dimir matchups as well. Oh, and the card I've missed, Oakham Adversary. If you're playing against green, be that the mirror, although not many people are playing this deck, so I wouldn't say that you'd have many mirrors. Also Gruul, Naya, there's a lot of decks which this is good against, and also your Sultai Yorion lists, or Sultai Ultimatum. Couldn't get my words out there. Alright, so this is a decent hand against him. We get to go Kazandi Mammoth turn 3 into turn 4 if we have an untapped land. Okay, I'll leave. Okay, So we do have our untapped land follow up for turn 4. So we could go Kazandi Mammoth. Okay, so he gets 4 damage in, and he'll have another 4 damage next turn minimum. Okay. We'll play out this, and then the turn after we will go for Kazandi Mammoth, I think. It might be better actually. Okay, so he doesn't play out Anax yet. Okay, so he's got no copy of Anax, so I'll play out Kazandi Mammoth. Although I think he's got a removal spell, be that a Bone Crusher Giant or a Faceless Haven. Okay, interesting. I'm not sure what he could have. It's possible he just makes this okay. Okay, so he gets in with 2 of those, but I block. And I might also block this actually. So what benefits do we have? No, I'm going down to 5. Yeah, this we go down to 9 and we have blockers up. So we've got Ram through up next turn as well. Play this, then we play Great Henge, and we'll keep Kazandi Mammoth up as a blocker. So now with all of this utility, it should be very difficult for them to beat us, unless they have a Cruel War or something like that. Okay. So, passes to damage. Nothing we can do about that there. Okay, now we Henge. So do we kill the Rob of a Rich here? I don't think we do. What I do think we do here is we need to kill this Goldspan Dragon. He does get a treasure, however I am quite happy with that, if it means that he's not swinging in with a 4/4 in the air every turn. Now, I'm not going to play the Tangled Florahedron because I want to keep up Ram through in case he plays Embercleave or something of the like. Because it's very nice to kill a creature in response to a card like an Embercleave. Although I'm very wary of this Robber for Rich as well, because it could take something such as an Aldegargaroth, at which point we are in a little bit of trouble. Okay, yeah, sure, I'll allow that to happen. Okay, Fervent Champion. Okay. Let's go to my turn. Then first things first, we've got to swing him with Toski, so we'll see what he blocks with. He blocks with nothing, which is good for us. Okay, so we've drawn very well here. There's little that he can do against this. And then we'll play Tangled Florahedron so we can hold up our Ram through again. We're hoping he just kind of draws lands. Okay, he drew Phoenix of Ash, which is actually a really nice card in this situation. Pass to damage. Yeah, let's just go to our turn. Alright, now this is just this is going to be an amazing turn for us here. What are we going to do? Let's just go to combat, next to attackers, swing with these two. So we're swinging in for 8 power, so... Okay, so he lets the damage go through there, which is actually really nice for us, because it gives us 8 damage through, obviously, and the additional two blockers, two cards drawn, sorry. Now, what I will do here is I will play out another copy of Lovestruck Beast, and what I will do is I will attach a copy of, stick this over, of Gem Razor on here, so it gives us a blocker for this Phoenix of Ash, whilst also holding up round 3. And yeah, there we go. So we get another victory, taking us up to Diamond with 2 pips. Yeah, thank you guys ever so much for watching the video. If you made it to the end, please feel free to subscribe, leave a like, comment, all of that good stuff, and I'll be back with another video for you guys soon. Goodbye.